I don't know how I feel about Cool Hand Angelica. I think it's an alright episode of Rugrats, but I didn't personally love it. And I kind of feel like it represents camp in a really bad way. But the target audience of Rugrats are kind of just starting to approach the age where they can go to camp. So I feel like it should be making it seem more manageable and less daunting than it actually is. This is the second segment of the second episode of the third season of Rugrats, and Susie is going to day camp. And Angelica says exactly what Angelica does. She puts camp down, says it's easy, and it ends up being the case that Angelica goes to camp as well, against her wishes. And in true Angelica fashion, she doesn't want to do anything of it. She doesn't want to hike through the woods, she doesn't want to play the sports, she doesn't want to go swimming, and she's maybe not as good at things as she thinks she is. So she tries to do things her own way, but things don't go according to plan. And she definitely has to learn quite a few lessons, actually. She has to learn, first of all, that if you boast about something, it might come back to bite you. You might have to prove that you can do those things. And it might turn out that actually you're quite scared of those things. And also, if you are in camp, you have to play by camp rules. Otherwise, you're going to get punished. Not that I really think she was punished. It might have seemed like a punishment to her. But I feel like it was actually best case scenario. What really annoyed me about this episode, and I don't know if I'm just getting over annoyed about this for no reason, but she was the only kid without a t-shirt. They all had this matching camp t-shirt except Angelica. Even if she'd enrolled too late to buy one, they would have given her a t-shirt, because nothing says target like the one child who isn't wearing the uniform. So they absolutely would have found a t-shirt for her to wear, and it really irritated me that she wasn't wearing one. And it's not like they couldn't have done it, because Susie was wearing one with her dress underneath it. So I think I got annoyed by that more than I should have done. But generally it's not a bad episode. I just didn't personally love it. I feel like it's got a good message though. Well, two good messages. Having said that, three good messages. The first good message is that you shouldn't boast about things, because you never know when you might have to prove those. The second is that sometimes it's good to try new things and to take yourself out of your comfort zone, because you never know where you might thrive. And the third is that if you want somebody to do something and they have a personality like Angelica's, tell them that they can't do it and watch them prove you wrong. So I thought the messages were pretty good. It was well animated, apart from Angelica not having a t-shirt. I think, they animated the other kids really well, and I thought the campsite looked very good. No problems with that. Also, I loved the scenes with Angelica's parents. I thought they were pretty good as well. And Susie is always a great character. So there's nothing really wrong with it, minus the t-shirt, but it wasn't one of my favourites. And that might be because the other babies weren't in it. It didn't even occur to me until I got to the end of the episode that they weren't there. Like, obviously I knew they weren't in it, but it's not like I was watching it going, where's Phil and Lil? Where's Tommy and Chuckie? But obviously when I reflected on it and I tried to work out why I didn't actually love it, even though there was nothing really wrong with it, I think it might just be the lack of the babies. Maybe. So I didn't hate it. It's not a terrible episode. Angelica needed a t-shirt, but other than that, I don't really have any complaints.